Welcome to another edition of Tom Brand One Thoughts. I hope everything's going well for you guys, and just running some errands today. So I thought I shoot the shit with you guys, and holy shit, is it cold out? And speaking of cold, I mentioned cold. It's a perfect segue. I thought I'd talk about with you guys today winter. Everything and anything about winter. And the first day of winter was December 21st, and science was never my strong suit here. So much so I almost failed earth science. Let's not even talk about math, because boy, did I go to summer school for math, for trigonometry, man. First and only time. Boy, did I hate trigonometry. Back in high school here in New York State, I'd be a little bit older than some of you guys, but if you're my age group, around 30s, mid-30s, I'm 35 going on 36. So, but yeah, man, that was the Green Book. But I digress. Let's talk about winter. And, the first day of winter was December 21st. And, being that science was never my strong suit here, December 21st, it's supposed to be like the shortest day of the year, because, if I'm not mistaken, I should have Wikipedia'd this. On December 21st, that's when the sun is furthest away from the earth. Is that it? Or like the way it's tilted, the earth, and so it's like the shortest day of the year, and it gets darker at earliest time. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't notice anything, man. Over here on the East Coast, and I say that because, like, over here, like, it was 3, like, it gets dark over here in the wintertime around 3:30. Like, my brother who lives in Tennessee over there, saying that there's still sun out, like, it gets dark later. I don't know about that, but I'm gonna take it as fact, man. It just gets dark out here. I don't know if you're, like, in a warmer climate, let's say California or Tennessee or places like that, if it gets dark later. But on the East Coast here, and during the winter time, it gets dark at 8:30. And winter is supposed to go on until March 20th of this year, man. That's that's a long time, man. That's a long time. The thing with winter here on the East Coast, it's a little hot now too as I crank up the heat. The thing with, it snows, man. Sometimes when it snows, it's just at your wits' end. And it hasn't, this winter has been weird over here so far. It's been really cold for like really about a week. And other than that, it's been manageable as far as the temperature. I think like 2 days ago it was like 50 degrees in December. That's odd. That's odd here in the East Coast. But I remember as a kid when it started snowing, and as soon as it started snowing, my parents would automatically like start shoveling the snow as it was still snowing. And I always questioned that, like, why not wait until the snow is over before you start shoveling? Like, I didn't get that. And now as I'm old, oh boy, am I old. It feels like I was just 21 yesterday. I'm already mid-30s, but now I do the same thing. I start shoveling as it's snowing, especially when you're supposed to get like significant amount of snow And I find the reason why it's best to do it that way, why I highly recommend it, start shoveling while the snow is while the snow is falling down. That way you don't have a lot to shovel after the snow is finished, because sometimes that snow could just get so heavy, and if you're mid-30s, you can't be shoveling that snow all at once. You're gonna break your damn back, and you're gonna start to ache. And it's just gonna catch up with you. You can't get away with shoveling the snow all at once after the snow is done at the last minute. When you get past your 30s, man. Maybe you're able to do that in your 20s, but I find myself doing that now as well. And I start shoveling, as it's still snowing, and I think that's good. It's also very, don't it annoy you too as you're like shoveling the snow, and then you have people looking out the window like your neighbors, and then you probably don't expect it here and on the East Coast because everyone's so nasty half the time. But they're looking out the window. They're like, they come out onto the balcony. They're like, you did a very good job shoveling the snow. And you're thinking to yourself, gee, maybe you could have helped me shovel the snow perhaps? Geez, I mean, while you're drinking your hot cocoa there. I mean, some help would be nice. Speaking of which, it's kind of cooler out today, and in the wintertime, I never understood this kind of perfect segue. I'm literally looking at someone that's in a tank top. My thermometer here on the car says it's 40 degrees, and she's wearing a tank top, no jacket, nothing, just a tank top. More power to you. More power to you. Like, I never, I see, a lot of the youngins out there. No matter what the temperature is, even in the winter time, man, no matter what the temperature is, they're wearing shorts. It could be 30 degrees outside, and they're wearing shorts. And if you look closely, they're wearing those shorts, and they're still sweating a little bit. I never understood those people. How do you, A, how are you not cold? And B, how do you not get sick? Jeez, man. Jeez. Going back to the snow. Now, as you're older and you're able to afford a little better quality things in life, car is one of them. I love my car. And I'm very anal about what type of brush I use for my car. I'm not going to use, back in those days, I don't know if you guys did it back when you were younger and you didn't care, you would use that long brush that you would sweep the sidewalk with. Then you're looking after the snow is gone, and a couple of days later you're looking like, I used that brush on my car and it looks like it's scratched up. So now I'm very, very anal with my car. I would almost venture and almost say that I much rather put on gloves and kind of throw the snow aside as opposed to using a brush on my car. And people look at me sometimes in the snow, mind you, they're not helping me shovel or helping me dig out my car. They're looking at me. I have 5 heads. They're like, do you want to use a brush? No, I got a long brush in the car, but I rather not use that. I rather use my hands because I don't want to scratch up my car. Is it just me, or do you guys do the same thing below? And you could, if you want, please comment in the comment section down below. I was always, speaking of winter time, man, when it gets cold, maybe when I run this by my friends, they look at me like I have 5 heads sometimes. Like, what are you doing? But like, in the winter time or even in the summertime, 2 things that's very important. I start up the car, and that's nowadays it's the keyless thing where you just start it, you push that button and it warms up. So I will wait until, when you look on the dashboard there, when the little pointer is at 1 or below, before I will hit drive and make my way. That means I will not put on the heat, nor will I put on cold air if needed in the summertime. I have to wait until the car warms up, no matter what temperature it is outside. Because I was always told, maybe the cars back in those days, in the early 80s to mid, back the earlier cars, maybe you had to do that. But when I tell people this, they look at me like I have 5 heads. I gotta wait until the car warms up before I use the heat or use the cold air. Sometimes, and you know, when you have a co-passenger, they look at you like, you want to turn on the heat, maybe? Like, no, let's wait until the car warms up. They're like, it's cold out. No, that's A-okay by me. A-okay by me. Gotta wait until the car heats up and warms up before we make that final stretch. But man, once the car warms up, I like my car nice and toasty. Nice and toasty, I like that car. So I'll crank up the heat as it's cranked up right now, and then I find myself getting all sweaty, and then I have to turn it down and sometimes even put on cold air because I just warmed myself completely up. So with the heat, there's really no in between with me. Well, make no mistake about it too, by the way. And make, sorry as you go flying there, make no mistake about it as well. Once we're all ready to rock and roll, once I'm in the car and it's winter time, I'm sitting, and being in New York, everyone is always crowded. People want to take your parking spot as soon as you leave. You go to the mall, wherever you are, people watch you like a hawk to see you leave that parking spot. And they expect me to leave in a cold winter, right away as soon as I get in my car. No, pal. I'm warming up my sucker. It's going to be nice and warm. I'm not risking any damage to my car. The line has to be below 1 on the car. But of course, I don't tell them that. You know what I do? I pretend like I'm fumbling through something, or like I'm talking on the phone, because nowadays some people are psychopaths, and you never know. They might be all upset that they're not getting a parking spot. So you gotta play it well. So listen, now with these cars, man, sometimes because it gets so cold, I just wish that I could have heated seats, or even like a remote start where I could press the button as I'm walking to the car and the car starts warming up for me. That would be grand. But you know, can't have everything, and that's all right. One thing like I don't understand, and you see these commercials, and these commercials are very, very slick. They know how to tug at the heartstrings. They know when to play these commercials. But they want you to buy snow tires. Like, I'm thinking to myself, like snow tires, for example. Here in the Northeast, in New York, for example, it snows, but it doesn't snow like it snows in Dakotas or Iowa or Idaho. It snows, but so I guess it really depends on where you live. But if it snows not all that much, why? You got to be careful of these impulse buys. Why would you buy tires, snow tires, in a place where it doesn't snow that often? Right? Think about it. Tires are not cheap. They're very expensive. Why would you get them? And like, if you have like a regular car, I mean, a regular car usually doesn't have, all-wheel drive. It's four-wheel drive. What I'm looking for, doesn't have four-wheel. It doesn't have a regular car more often than not. Doesn't have the capabilities of driving through the snow. So those snow tires, I doubt, will make that much of a difference as you're trying to schlep your way through tons and tons of snow. Is it just me? Usually, those snow tire buys are like impulse buys. Same goes for like if I were looking to buy like those, and my wife always wants one, and like a part of me wants to get it to make her happy, but I'm looking at these electric fireplaces. Realistically, you're only going to be using it through, when it gets cold, I guess. But you have heat, right? So you're not using that fireplace the whole time because it's going to warm up. And then you plug that in. You already have heat. You plug in your electric fireplace and your electricity bill is going to go higher, right? I mean, why? Like, how are we winning on this whole thing? Like, the fireplace is electric fireplace now is relatively cheap. But then the electric bill, they say, it goes up like 10 cents an hour. Do you believe that? No. So I'd rather just stay away, and you guys should stay away from those impulse buys because they know how to tug at your heartstrings. Winter time too. I remember when I was younger. Do you guys do this? You guys do this when you're younger? Like when we used to go to the clubs and it was winter time. Like you were cold, which is why you brought the jacket. But you didn't want to bring the jacket inside. So you would leave it in the car and you would brave the winter and walk to the bar. Did you guys used to do that? Because it was such a drag carrying the jacket into the bar. Then you gotta leave it on the chair. Then you gotta worry about the jacket falling off the chair. Then you gotta worry about someone taking your jacket. That's why I was like, let me just leave the jacket in the car. Brings me, but then you might say to me, well, you have the coat check, so why not use the coat check? I don't trust the coat check. Some of these places have a lot of people going in. How much are you trusting the person that has your coat check and running the coat check? And whenever you get, if you ever use that coat check, you get the thing, a little slip that says, this is your jacket number, handed to the coat attendant. But it clearly says on the bottom there that they are not responsible for any lost items. Well, gee, great, thanks. That makes me feel a whole lot better. So now, in the wintertime, you wear your jacket, go to the club, leave it in the car, and then hope that you found a spot nearby, and hope you wouldn't freeze as you're making the dash back to the car. Or, you tested your luck, and hoped that the coat attendant was very reliable. I hope everything's going well for you guys. Check out Tom Brand 1. It's a comedy channel. Check out smarkchat, and I thank you for taking the time to look at this video. As far as winter stuff, what do you guys wear to keep you warm? I mean, I have this jacket here, which is relatively warm. It's an Old Navy jacket, but I fluctuate the word I'm looking for. I have a rotation of three jackets that I use to keep me warm in the winter. And you wear these jackets on various types of occasions. You kind of are smart and you know when to wear them. As the guy just completely goes in front of me, I'm a typical New York driver. But I'm talking about more hats and scarves. Scarf. I don't know about you guys, but I never knew, and I still don't know, like, how to wear a scarf exactly, which is probably why I don't wear a scarf. I mean, and why I don't wear a scarf is, don't get me wrong, I want to stay healthy, but see, with this jacket here, it just buttons up to the neck. With a scarf, like, I never knew how to exactly position it, that way it serves its purpose. As we're passing by the All in the Family house. Did you see that video, All in the Family? Check it out, it's great. But anyway, yeah, so like, I never knew how to wear a scarf. It's like always, you're looking in the mirror, did I wear the scarf right? So, but what I think it is that you wear like the scarf and you wrap it around your neck, which seems like it's an uncomfortable look, uncomfortable feel and an awkward look, but I guess it serves the purpose. But I just always thought like a scarf looks silly. So I wear the hat. I don't have it on today. Sometimes I wear the hat or a hoodie. You're gonna get more bang for your buck with a hat. But I like to wear the hats without the little ball on the top. You know the one I'm talking about. I remember as a kid, I get those hats with a ball on them, and I never wanted to wear it because I had a giant ball on the top. Now I seen that it's coming back in style, and a lot of people wear them. But I am still not warmed up to that. I wear the hat without the ball, and I think that's a good look. You can wear a nice black hat, wool hat, and it matches with pretty much anything. Even like wearing a cool like sports team hat, that's a nice look. Heck, even like a seasonal Christmas hat, that's a good look. But you can only wear that hat like around the Christmas season. Other than that, I think it's kind of silly. But I love wearing the hats. Gloves, everyone has tried with the gloves. I'm still not warmed up to the gloves. I don't know, like on my commute, I just have to walk to the car, drive, park, and then walk to work. So it's not like it's taking a long time. It's not like I'm in the cold for a very long time. You know, endos maybe at most 5-minute walk. 5-minute walk each way to the car, and then from the car to work, depending on where I find the spot. So to brave it, you know what? Yeah, I just put my hands in my pocket. Now, a lot of people tell me I should wear gloves. You know, you don't want to mess up the skin on your hands, because then, like, sometimes, you know, like if I'm showing you my hand, like your hand becomes like red, I guess like frostbite almost. Like if I was commuting to work, I'd probably be wearing gloves now at the older age that I am. But when I was like a kid in high school, even then I was waiting for the bus. Gloves? I ain't wearing gloves. Are you kidding me? No. Yeah, so I mean, as far as wearing things in the cold winter, you're usually gonna find me wearing a hat before anything. Nice hat. Winter is a very long time. Very long time, guys, man. And it's depressing. Like, imagine, like I don't, you know, it's cold here in the North, like New York area, but it doesn't get cold in like certain places, like Alaska, like for example. It just seems like it's in constant winter. My gosh. Like, what would you do, like, if you were in Alaska? Like, or if you got stranded in Alaska, let's just say. Probably if you've been living in Alaska, you're used to it. But if you're stranded in Alaska, like, and it's winter is constantly brutal there, like, what would you guys do? How would you react? I don't know. I don't know, man. That would be rough. That would be a rough look. Winter is here, folks. It is here. I don't know about you. A lot of people like to have like warm tea in the wintertime, especially. Not so much with me. Nah, I'm not a big tea guy. You know what I'll do is I'll have iced tea. Like when I see I'm not a big tea guy, like I'm not a big, you know, Lipton tea type of guy where you put the tea bag in your teacup and you drink it and warm. You know, nah. But what I'll do is I'll take the iced tea and the powder, and I'll warm it up with the boiled water. I'll have that. But I can't say I'm not really big much of a tea drinker. So I don't know, like, as far as soups, like, a lot of people only eat, like, soup during the winter months. I mean, not so much anymore, but as a kid, I always had soup year-round. So I can't say that my eating pattern has changed. It changes during winter and the winter months. I can't say that. But, you know, the key, folks, is to get ourselves through the winter. That way we could once again be in a nice weather. I hope everything is well, and I welcome you to check out my other 2 channels. Just wanted to talk about winter, guys. Let's brace ourselves. I hope everything is well. I look forward to speaking to you guys soon.